If your only win of the week is a personal best, you're actually playing a dangerous game. The reason I'm making this video is all of my clients normally, when they've had a good week, they'll say the best thing about it, the win of the week, was personal best. It makes sense because when you hit a personal best, you feel good. However, there is actually a problem with that. And I'll go into that in this video. Most people are addicted to progress metrics. But what happens when the personal best stop? And they will, because everybody plateaus, everybody pauses, everybody stagnates. Things come up in life that may take away from training. At some point, things are going to slow down. What do you do at that point? So here's how to make it easier to stick to your program, even when progress slows down. Is track more than personal best. Track things outside of the gym. Your sleep, your consistency, your stress, mood, energy levels, all of these things, if you look after them, will help you hit more personal best anyway. But also by tracking them, you get to see other aspects of your life where you're making progress, because progress is happening even when the bar isn't increasing in weight. The second thing is environment over motivation. Prepare your training environment, whether that's having a good playlist, making sure your kit is ready the day before, the day, on the day, whenever you need it to be ready, and having a time on your calendar and planning your week ahead to make sure you set your week up and your whole day up for success in line with what you're trying to accomplish. Because the truth is that you're not always going to be motivated, but you can always adjust your environment to set yourself a trap for success. The third thing is setting identity-based goals versus outcome-based goals. This is the difference from saying, I want to lose fat or gain muscle, to I'm the kind of person who pushes himself and does hard things and gets stronger and prepares my food. Because if you change your identity, your results will follow by default. So by becoming the type of person who gets the result you want, you get the outcome. But if you focus purely on the outcome, that doesn't always mean that the tasks that you do are always going to be aligned with that. The fourth thing is to lower the barrier of entry. People think consistency is doing everything perfect all the time, every day, when actually it's not. It's doing something sometimes for as long as possible and as often as possible. That's consistency. So on hard days, doing something rather than nothing to make sure you have no zeros or no 0 days is the best way to move forward. Because you don't really need to make sure you're always moving forward every day. You just need to make sure you don't go backwards. And that can be done by just having the smallest thing in your day. If you do nothing that day, and that thing you need to do might just be resting. But if you do nothing that day that contributes, then yes, you're probably not going to see results. And if you're not tracking it from the points before, then yeah, it's going to be very tough to actually feel good about it. So it's not about the perfect session or anything, it's just about keeping the habit alive. And the fifth thing is to detach emotionally from short-term data. If you purely look at personal best that day, or your lack of, sometimes you can lose track of the full consistency of your full journey. And this has happened with clients of mine who have tried to gain muscle or lose fat when, in their first 6 weeks, they see great progress and then it plateaus a bit, or they have a spike in their weight. And then it's very easy to say to yourself, oh, I'm just not, what's the point in doing this? I'm going backwards, I'm not even going forward. But if you look at the whole graph of how things are looking, you'll realize actually I'm making lots of progress. So it's not just about looking at today, it's about looking at the whole trend and seeing how it's going. You need to celebrate consistency more than performance, because personal bests are the party. Don't get me wrong, they're the big celebration, but consistency is ensuring the mortgage is paid. So the big shift from this video is stop tying your motivation to personal bests and start tying it to your personal standards. Because if you raise the standards of how you live your life or who you are, in turn, you will get the result you want, whether that's fitness, business, relationships, whatever it is. Improve your personal standards, you will get the result that you want. So to give you an overview, what you need to do to stick to your programs more easily is track things outside of the gym, not just personal best and training in the gym. Track sleep hours, track energy levels, track your mood, track little daily habits that you do, track your ability to stick to your promises. Second thing, environment over motivation, making sure that you manipulate environment to be positive for you rather than negative. Third thing, making identity-based goals and outcome-based goals, both together. We do want the outcome, but focusing more on what type of person do you need to become to get the result, and track those. The fourth thing is lowering the barrier to entry. If you make that a bit lower, that sounds kind of like not raising your personal standards, but if you make the barrier to entry lower, you can make sure you have no 0 days, and that at least you're never going backwards. Some days you are always taking a small step forward or staying the same. And the last thing is to detach emotionally from short-term data and instead look at long-term trends to ensure you're actually making progress versus being upset at a small blip. And all of this is because your future self doesn't care about personal bests. It cares about whether you showed up tomorrow. Because if you keep turning up, you will get this result. So if you found this helpful, send this to a friend, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff that YouTube people say. And thank you so much for listening to this and getting to this point, and I hope you find this useful.